All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the SFA Season 15 roster preview stream. Let me know if you can hear me before we go ahead and get started. The off season is officially over as of yesterday. We are officially in the Season 15 week, or really just the preseason. So let me know if you can hear me. I know a lot of people don't really join for this part, as this stream is definitely by far the worst stream of the season for me. It is 3.5 hours of me mindlessly scrolling through every single team. That way you guys have your entire depth chart, your entire roster at your disposal. So before you go ahead and jump to your team, please listen to the full disclaimers here at the beginning, because otherwise I'm going to get bombarded by the same questions over and over, especially when you guys are making your depth chart changes. So I'm going to go through every roster. This is the manage roster section, so it sorts you by position. I'm going to go by position and show you the overalls, and then you'll get you'll get position and the first 6 stats. Now it goes by overall. Not all the overalls are the true overalls, as there is a well-known UI glitch with incoming freshmen. So an incoming freshman might be an 85. However, after I import them or whatever, it shows on the screen as an 86 or an 87. That is incorrect, and we've tested it before. None of the ratings actually change. Strictly a UI glitch. As far as what you guys are looking for when you submit your roster changes to me, please do not submit like a red shirt for every single player. Just give me notable red shirts of guys who would actually be playing. Otherwise, the game will handle it themselves. So I don't need you to tell me to redshirt your 4th string right tackle who's a 42 overall, because he's going to get redshirted by himself. Same thing with position changes. Please tell me when you're doing a position change, if you want to start somebody out of position versus actually permanently changing their position. Please do not send me, hey, I want you to permanently change this guy from a right end to a left end, because that just does not matter. But if you want one of your right ends to start for your left end, sure. But position changes, like permanent position changes, should be few and far between. It should be like a wide receiver going to running back or something like that. Middle linebacker going to an outside linebacker, I guess. But like if you're starting somebody on your line, the overall doesn't really switch at all. If you start your left tackle at right guard, your right guard at left tackle, right? So you don't need to do a position switch. Defensive line, same way. Linebackers, same way. Corner to safeties, really the same way. So yeah. And then also be nice to me with your depth chart submissions, as please send them all at once, because once I go to your team, I do not want to have to return to your team. So I need all the submissions at once, and that'll all be included in the post afterwards. Thanks for the sub, Cryo. You're a beast. You just threw out 3 subs. Let's go to celebrate the season. And like I said, this is a 3.5 hour awful video. I hate it. It is the worst thing ever. I don't expect you to be here the whole time. I'm going to go through it alphabetically, and so later on tonight it will be posted on YouTube with the nice timestamps, so you can just jump to your team if you don't want to watch the full stream. I will not show full ratings for all players, or even any players outside incoming freshmen. I'll flash those for a couple of seconds, but that's really it. So there also will be pauses between teams as I write down the thumbnail, or not, as I write down the timestamp, not the thumbnail. So here we go, Season 15, and you're also going to get some reveals of the new overlays. The bottom right is updated, the top left's updated with the new game day watermark. So we're officially in Season 15, and remember, folks, head to home field, use code SFA, 15% off. Let's go. All right, so I'm also going to change the teams once you guys start submitting your depth chart changes. It's kind of the same ones from last season, so they're a bit outdated, as App State's the first team. I know ECU's also a user right now, so I'm going to make all those changes here as well. Right after this stream is going to be the full schedule reveal as well. So I'm going to end this stream and then start the schedule stream. So a lot of stuff coming out tonight. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and get started. That is all the disclaimers. So we got App State as the first team, and I'm probably not going to talk a lot. If you guys have questions, let me know. But yeah, it's just kind of just me dragging on about it. So here we go. I'm just going to go very slowly, one at a time. And yeah, I'll probably mute myself if you guys don't have questions. All right, I haven't even looked at this roster. We got Mike Jennings. He was going to be the next guy if I lost the Natty last season. So we'll see how this team does. They're still pretty good, but not nearly as good as they used to be. So they don't have any of the top 10 players. So Easton Kuntz, he's one of those SFA players. So this is just how his skills. He was one of those IGRs. He was a battle between ECU and who was it? It was Kent State. Lad is up to an 88. And another one of those guys, Reaper Exum, another IGR. This is what his stats are looking like. He's a finesse and strength guy. So you can really see how a lot of just one offseason can really bring down a team a little bit here. So now we got Georgia Tech. So Clayton Toon taking over for Kirk O'Squatch with the all the bonuses. He is up to a 92. Juice Riggs up to a 97. He is a top 10 player in the country. This is one of the freshmen. He was a 1-star. He's a 75 overall. So I'm only gonna flash ratings for the incoming SFA recruits that I catch. Really, I won't remember all of them probably once I get into like the mindless part of this. So Bokassa, he was a transfer from Kansas. Tech Sergeant, he's the Bear Cave Reward guy. And then this is where it kind of drops off, is the 1-star SFA player, Reed Nakamoto. He is their second best corner coming into the season. Big drop-off for Georgia Tech here. Hugo Heacock, the SFA player, as well. He was a corner, but he got moved to free safety. And because he is a physical corner, he doesn't lose any overall going to safety. And that is Georgia Tech. Now we got Kansas. So this is a new users team, no longer Fink. So Bryson Chant, 82. Zeke Yeager, 81. Shadon Iverson. It's a shame some of these guys didn't enter the portal. Jack Walters, one of the better wide receivers in the country. Lars Newt is still there. See, Kansas is still going to be pretty good. No incoming SFA players, so they all went to Utah. So remember, I'm going alphabetical after we get through these first user-labeled teams. Hey, Dogwater, let's go. Thanks for the sub. I don't have a set time for week 1. However, we're officially in the preseason, which oftentimes, just like it's a little longer than a regular week. However, it's like goes super quickly because there's so much to do. And this is LA Tech and Coach Keat. So this is one of those teams that's going to be a lot better, as he got the March Madness reward player. Husky Boyle is his name. He's a 90 overall incoming freshman. Obviously, the name is based off of Connecticut, the Huskies, and then Boyle for Boilermakers. He got to choose it, so the 90 overall guy. And then wide receivers. And then we got Baron V. Camp, the SFA player, 5-star player. This is what he's looking like. Very good run stopper, so 95 run stopping ability. And then Lucher Stensby. He is a cornerback here. He's 78 overall. That's what he looks like. Or no, yeah, he's a 77, but this is one of the UI glitches. Remember, the overall might not be correct. However, all the ratings are fine. And that's the way LA Tech is looking. And now we got Maryland. Guys, remember, Maryland is the team that choked the 20-point halftime lead to LSU in the playoff. Let's see what happened. Jerry Schmierman didn't go up all that much. He actually went down, I believe. Let me just make sure I got all of these. I want to make sure I get everybody their playing or their screen time. Luke Pearson, Bryson Warden, and they added Andy Newton, the transfer from Tulane, the SFA player, the reject. Tank Brinks is back. They add Lonnie Fackner over from Kansas. So 4 out of 5 starting line spots are now SFA players, as they got Purvis Wigglesworth and Dylan Sussywell as well. And on defense, it's Cochran. He was an older transfer. Paris Butter, the SFA player, the freshman incoming guy. So have what he looks like. 88 speed at defensive tackle. That's what Ferris Butter brings to the table. I'm also very excited for recruiting, as we are switching up the scouting system. So I think it will make the roster stream much more enjoyable for you guys, as you won't know quite as much about the recruits for the foreseeable future. But this is what Maryland looks like. It looks like they're still going to be pretty good. All right, OU. We're supposed to repeat, and they completely choked. How do they look this year? Well, Jamal Bullock is the guy. However, they got Brett Favre, the new player. This is what he looks like. He's the in-game recruit from last season. 95 speed at 6'10". Gus McFeeters is back. He's a scrambler. I told you he was good. We got Cheddar Biscuits, the highest rated fullback in the country. Yeah, there's going to be some dogs this year. We're not going... Here's Dambo Dinkins, the SFA player that you recruited. Red zone threat. Great spec catch, great jumping. Awareness is down there. Not a lot of speed from Dambo, but he can get the job done. Here's your transfer from Clemson. This is what he looks like. Big upgrade there. That was the tampered player. Madden Proctor back for his senior year. Del Robacker. Hopefully he doesn't get injured this year. Not as good of a linebacker core for Oklahoma, so kind of got to rebuild that. Wild Goose now the second highest ranked corner. Octavius Fenster, the 5-star free safety coming in. Jay Phoenix is back. Shabari O'Toole is back. Engage Blast. Yes, you did, but you can watch it on playback, I believe, while the stream's still going, or you can wait for the timestamps. As we got Southern Miss, no longer a user, B-Dog left, but Trey White here, and then Johnny Ward didn't seem like he went up hardly at all. DJ Hall. So no SFA players incoming on this roster, so I'm going to go through it a bit faster. I'm not changing his position to running back. Satchel DeJoki, SFA player, is going to start now. Pablo Smalls. Like I said, with your roster changes, it has to be realistic. If a guy is a 6'10", scrambling quarterback, he's not playing running back for you. Come on now. I'm not doing that. In-game recruits are meant to play where they are coming in. All right, Tennessee. Boss Hennessy up to an 84 after the offseason strategy, even though he didn't get any progression. Dennis Martell is now in the game, so we'll see. They put Adam Dukes, I think, at running back here for him. Brian Hall, he saved him in the transfer portal. He's going to be in the slot. Trent Fox is going to start playing. Jake Laxon, the 10th highest rated player in the country. Then Jwala Limpombo, incoming SFA player, left guard. New edge rusher, Gerard Beebe. Marion Sippins, #1 guy now. And then the mountain of middle linebackers. You got 3 here. And then Justin Hazelhurst, the incoming freshman. I don't know why. He just steals middle linebackers from everybody. But here we are. Keaton Longslug, one of the IGRs. This is what he looks like. Kobe Dredd, the top corner. Camden Sharp, SFA player. Bit weak on the outside there. Simmons is back. And Carl Cooley, finally a starter. And there's your Tennessee team. Now we got UNLV. All right, UNLV, here we go. Brett Brooks is a junior. DeMarcus McKenzie. Joe Hall. Mark McLeod got the good progression. Mason. Giovanni Vladislav, the SFA player, the fatty that everybody was making fun of, 378 pounds. That's what he looks like. Ubaldo up to an 85. Baker, the transfer from Ohio State a couple years ago. All right, Utah coach Fink taking over this squad. You got the transfer from Texas, Matt Hale, coming in. Jeremy White, redshirt junior. Nice little starter for you. Mark Willis. Kira Streaker up to a 90. Hams McGillis, our first reject of the day, coming in. Reject was signed to Kansas but follows Fink over. Good acceleration guy. Nazir Fitzsimmons. Liam Gagne, transfer from Toledo. Blake Black. Middle linebacker looking rough. Javi Santana, SFA player. You got one more year of Nicholas Oakley, and then it's Carlton Thorne, the SFA player. Followed Fink. That's what he looks like. Now Wisconsin, non-user, is just a user right now. So this is what they look like post Mush Brain era. They've lost a lot of talent on an already bad team. Peppercorn, SFA player. Must have regressed. No right tackles on the roster. Willis Whopper, his final year. Marquise Diamond up to an 80. Air Force. All right, so now we're back in. We're officially into the. We're into the. What is this? The alphabetical order now. So, Air Force is just a terrible team. Good starting place for someone. Yep, this is a very long stream. Gonna go alphabetically. Will be timestamps in the description for your team once the VOD is uploaded later on tonight. So if you don't want to sit through all 126, or you want to come back if you're later, that's perfectly fine. I'm also going to fully reveal the schedule after this stream as well. So long, long night of streaming here tonight. Gonna go a little bit faster through this bad CPU teams. Speaking of bad teams, we've got Akron here. All right, so we've got Jed Powers, the redshirt senior, coming back. This is Coach Moon's new squad. Bryson Wolf is his plan of attack at running back. And there he is, Manju Moomin. This is what the ratings look like. One of two players in this class getting 99 speed. Manju and one more we'll talk about way later. But bad awareness, but he has good everything else. The jumping's absurd. I'm very excited to see what Mr. Manju is able to do. .99 speed at 6'9". And here's Vandermeulen, the transfer from Georgia Tech. Jay Jones, transfer from Florida. And that is the Zips. All right, we got Alabama now. We've got Joe Bennett is the new starter. No tight ends here for Alabama. There's a team that missed a bowl game. Here's Dan Zhang, one of the IGRs. Very balanced type of a guy. Jimmy Don Willie up to an 88 in his senior year. Question is, will Alabama be back to their former selves this year? I don't know. Arizona, we got Coach Cam's new team. We are now pretty much officially past the Dogwater era here, as a lot of those players are gone. Chad Harris is the new starter. Jamal Davis is the running back. Jansen's still there at the fullback. Deshaun Prince just doesn't seem to be progressing. He's a junior. He's 77 overall, buried on the depth chart. Luigi Greenberg, SFA player. Craig Scotland, Team of the Year guy. Very good left tackle, probably the best in the country. So the offense looks like it's going to be okay. I thought the offense was going to take a massive step back, but it looks like it'll be all right. This team not in as bad of hands as I thought. Perry Williams, SFA player, the top corner now, and then it just kind of drops off. So secondary is a bit weak. And here's Haynes Kruger, the SFA reject, coming in. And obviously on the playback, you'll be able to slow it down, pause or whatever, take your screenshots, fill in your depth charts that you guys do all the time. All right, new era for ASU. It's going to be Manning now. And the man, the myth, the legend, Doug Dollars. So, hey, this is Doug Dollars, the fullback, 88 speed, great awareness. He can kick the ball as well. Very good player. Now we got Arkansas. This is a team that seems to be okay overall wise, but they just don't play all that well. Very thin at receiver. This would definitely be a top pick for me for a incoming coach. Right in the sweet spot. You have pieces to work with, but they definitely need help. All right, there's Arkansas. Then I got Arkansas State. Former Coach K's team. It's Jacoby Diaz is the quarterback. Eddie Wilkins, the reject, and freshman All-American. John Black, transfer from Notre Dame. Sue, the SFA player. No, it's because I went through all of the user teams. All right, now we got Army. All right. Ruddy Rogers is still there. Burdett is back after a season-ending injury. Nikita Sokolov is one of those in-game recruits. This is what he looks like. Then we got Auburn. Coach Cabbage, new team. This is what Bob Rubshaw looks like, his stats. Brandon Price is back. Kofi Garnett up to an 86. A Honda Diker Stick is the top tight end now. Bradrick Bulu, SFA player. Incoming guy. Elias Ingram. Keon Beachcastle, the in-game recruit. BYU. Coach Ron, it's now Jonathan Bell or Antonio McGee. Kind of to you. McGee used to start for them. Shamar Winter, the SFA player. 5-star running back. Remember, they lost Vidro Bautista to a broken promise. They got top 3 receivers are all SFA guys. Wait, I didn't show Shamar Winter's stats. This is the way he looks like. Ball State. Luke Haas is back. We saw him in the MAC championship. Terry Butler, transfer from Kansas, is the top target over here now. Laszlo Spangler, SFA player. Baylor, Coach Flame. Coach Flame's new team. We've got Clinton Sanders is technically the top-rated guy. The question is, will he start or will it be Latrey Raines, the incoming SFA talent? This is what he looks like. Niall Sheethers, SFA player, getting his first start. Solo Tippins, this is what he looks like. He's another red zone type of a threat. Clyde Starr, the transfer from Stanford. Very, very good offensive line. Roosevelt Givens, one of the best O-lines in the country. Cronin is the transfer from Tennessee. Jack Kearney, an in-game SFA player that committed to Baylor. Boise State. So Coach Haydoon's new team. Drew Anderson is now their new starter. Deason, the SFA player right behind him. Ahmed Sixto, the new running back for him. Who's a 2-star. That's what he looks like. Power back. Got Cade from Arizona in the transfer portal. Charbonneau is back. Try to see if Haydoon can get this team to a bowl game. This is a very bad program. So it'd be a big success just to win 6 games and get invited. All right, Boston College. So Boston College, Benjamin Cross as an SFA player. He's a 95 overall. I missed one. Gotta go back. Bowling Green. Alright, so for Bowling Green, we've got Shane Miller. Nope, gotta go in alphabetical order, Dogwater. Come back in like an hour. Bro, you don't have to watch. How is it mind-numbing for you? Alright, let's see how Buffalo is. Sean Hill still there. New running back. Whittaker's better than Dunn now, I guess. Schuster up to a 91. Dembele's an 80. Well, the good part about it is you know, like, more of the players, and that really makes it more interesting. Yeah. We're gonna see probably a steep drop-off for Buffalo and ECU. Alright, speaking of teams that are gonna fall off, we got Cal. Here is no more Chad Blunt, so it's the Josh Green era. Surprisingly, Cal is one of the most successful teams in SFA history. They're a top, I think, 6 or 7 program in terms of win percentage and wins. They're always good. They're just rarely elite. They've made one national championship game where they lost, believe it's to the, was it, or no, they lost in the quarterfinals, I think, to Cal, or to Maryland. Or in the semis to Maryland. Or they might have just straight up lost to Boise State. I don't remember. This is another very interesting team to take over if you're looking for a new place. Yeah, I mean, what they accomplished with just Chad Blunt is crazy. Alright, Central Michigan. So this is the team's leftover. We got Wykel Summers, the SFA player from McNasty. They decided not to follow. They're still really good at running back. Nesby's there. Last season, McNasty just had trouble with running back injuries. I feel like this team was really starting to blossom, but if you get offered from Cincy, that's probably the premier group of 5 job for sure. George Stevens, leftover guy from Georgia Southern, natty. Johnny Cottini, SFA player. And that is Central Michigan. Now we got Charlotte. All right, Ham Sowell. He's 6'4", 203, and this is what he is looking like. Remember, rejects take over whatever player they're imported over. So we also got another reject here in Jurassico Rose, the 6'4" guy. Decent player there. Coco Stout, this is what he looks like. Manny Midline. Monte Billings up to a 79. Jose Gamboa up to an 82. And Winnie Corso is up to an 80. Francis Miani is also the incoming punter. Very, very accurate. Not a ton of leg, though. Now we got Cincinnati. Another team where you kind of gotta think that they are a favorite for the group of 5 auto bid, as they got Bourbon Boozin, the 7-foot, 300-pound running back, the power guy. The number 3 player in the class, 80 speed, but he's got great break tackle, great trucking, and good vision. So we'll see. Very good strength as well. So we'll see if people can bring him down. We also got Felix Sosa, the reject player. This is what he looks like. Bad route runner. So very raw. No center, but that's okay. P.N.A. Litton, the 5'5" guy. Ike Wishbone up to a 92, one of the last members of Legion of Dread alive. So there's Cincinnati. All right, here we go. Everybody wanted to see Beef McWhat now. The historic debut of the worst named player in SFA history is upon us. Michael Smith is back. All right, who's ready to see Mr. Beef McWhat now? Here he is in all of his glory, an 82 overall. And he is 6'11", 300 pounds, and he is 95 speed as well. Insane jumping. Not great catching or anything, but he is going to be a problem. Basically, a little bit worse than Manjub Moonman, and a little bit bigger. But yeah, the worst name in SFA history for sure. Clemson will probably be back this year, gotta imagine. Slam Rodriguez up to an 83. And we got Artie Smart, in-game recruit. And Giorgio D'Antonio is what he looks like. So they'll be 3 and 4. So they'll play immediately. And that is Clemson. Now we got Coastal. So Grant Davis transfers from LSU. He's up to a 95 overall. Big snag there. A.J. Samuel, one of the top 10 players in the country now. Probably one of the favorites for the Heisman. Not quite as lethal in the running or in the wide receiver department. Dino Laverne up to an 89. Are we only in the C's? All right, we got Colorado now. Champ Bloomers, incoming SFA quarterback. Dunlap up to an 80. Melton up to an 80. Wolf Shitten up to a 79. All right, now we got Colorado State. Tavares Sherman is their quarterback. Josh Bullock they got in the transfer portal. Will Sweeten Jr., SFA player. That's what he looks like. Duke coach DiGiorno, his new team. Quarterback Luther Walters higher than Adam Barnes. SFA reject here. This is what he is looking like coming in with. Reginald Shockley, SFA player, is what he looks like. Kyron McGee, his second year, an 89 now. Ion Peaks in the transfer portal will start. Arden Goldsberry, a new SFA player. Eastern Michigan. New coach. This is some very good quarterbacks. Got this one from Texas, so QB of the future. Jessica Aspeth, former SFA IGR, going strong. Bud Potter is a reject. A left tackle position. Nambo transfer from Navy. FIU. Chris Martin back at quarterback. Scruggs back to a 79. Florida. Dogwater's old team actually looks pretty good. They got McKenna Hawk, the new, another new SFA player coming in. This is what he looks like. Archbishop up to an 89. FAU, Coach G-Men. We got Cyrus Lloyd up to a 93. Hubert Wells, SFA player, is what he looks like. We got Tyrell Young in the transfer portal. Angus Falk, former Mizzou player. All right, here we go. Florida State. One of the most exciting SFA teams of always is Jamie Breckenridge up to an 87. DeAndre Claxton right behind him. Trayvon Burner is now the lead back. He's an SFA player. Roddy Domino's a transfer in. Xander Poole, top 10 player. Barry Argonda got him in the transfer portal. There's a look at Florida State. All right, Fresno State. One of the top 2 players in the country, Chad Lee Brown, up to a 99 overall, the best progression out of any SFA player in the country. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Dark horse for the Heisman. Sadiqui went down to a 76. Yep, very slow. All right, Georgia. Well, can they get back up to where they were? You got Jorge Mooney, another young quarterback that they'll build around. New running back time. Trip McNeil, new SFA player. Curtis Bird, the #1 SFA player, in-game recruit. This is what he looks like. He's an 85 overall. He is going to be a beast over there. True ball hawk kind of a guy. Jaboris Jackson, SFA player. All right, Georgia Southern. Continue to go one at a time here. Peter Green is the quarterback. Trey enters his senior year. Cope in his final year up to a 95. Georgia State. All right, Hawaii. Here he is, Kareem Paul, the redshirt freshman, taking over, 81 overall. SFA reject quarterback. Malika Fruz, you got Royce Marchetti, the SFA player, transfer. Xavier Parsons, another transfer. So top 3 players are all transfers in. Axel Brooks, top tight end. Marks is another transfer in. So Hawaii doing a lot of work in the transfer portal. Very, very well done from Coach Woolley. However, the crown jewel of the class is Jelani Walgate, 5-star SFA player, 97 speed, great man cover, good press, good zone. He is a beast as well. Hoping they can get some production out of Keyshawn Clemens, who's kind of been a disappointment of a 5-star. Then Kelly Kachuk as well, the 3-star, very productive in his freshman year. And that is Hawaii. Houston, not very good. got Illinois. Jimmy McCoy, the new quarterback at 64 overall. We kind of gutted this team this offseason. Flame left and everything just kind of fell apart here for the Illini, and they're not going to be very good for the foreseeable future. Still have a decent O-line though. Marshman is still there though. Peeler is still there. So Indiana, Chuck Watkins is their quarterback. Oh yeah, this, like I said at the top, the roster video is definitely the worst part of the season for me, because it's right when the off season finishes, when I'm at like my most burned out, because every spare second of my free time is towards the off season typically, and then it's just like more just exhausting, just, you know, mind-numbing stuff. So yeah, it's a beast, but it's a probably the most useful tool we have, because it gives every single person, including people who come in and decide to take Indiana, a chance to see the full roster, and I don't have to pull it individually throughout the season. So we got Iowa now, so Jarkus. Rayshon Gloop up to an 81 in his junior year. Sam Howmiller, the transfer from Oklahoma. Willie Anderson is 79. LaShonte Bryant is up to a 77. Orlando Silatonga, the SFA freshman. He's a 76, very powerful run stopper. Jared Gilbert, the transfer from Illinois, starting at right end. He was the golden ticket player. So beefing that defensive line back up. Still got Sua Sailor, and then Wyatt Germ, the new freshman coming in. This is what he looks like. Very good coverage guy. Eric Sweeney back for another year. All right, Coach Logan Radke kind of had a stumble missing the transfer portal completely, but this team is still very good. I mean, look at this. Their top three running backs, Jonathan Bonds, Kennard Sellers, Justin McCall, are all very good. He could easily run a triple option team and be perfectly fine. Kevin Kramer is back. Some very good tight ends. It's still a very good team, so just because you miss one transfer portal doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Bomani Emons, the SFA player you got, is a right end. This is what he's looking like. Very, very good pass rusher. Alexis Elwood up to an 80 or a 78. Kansas State. A very bad Power 5 team. But they have Gustafer Huskerson, this guy made by Fink. Kent State. George Alvarez, a freshman quarterback. Kentucky. Darius Howard. Forgot a center here. Fifi down to a 77. And LSU, team that made it to the semifinals. And they have the number 2 prospect, Lavello Blackley, the 6'3" freshman. This is what he's looking like. He is going to be a beast. Keller is back for Lama. Deshaun Nevers up to a 93. Coach Sicky, an in-game recruit here. Ash Cookman up to an 84. All right, Louisiana. New era now for them. Louisville. Lucas Weber, a senior, trying to go for the three-peat here in the MAC. I'm not sure if we've ever seen a 3 straight wins for somebody in a conference. Might be close. Maybe a Clemson. They have Jax Joker, SFA player, and boom, massive strength guy, great power, good speed. Yeah, I just don't know about 3 times in a row. I know that's twice back-to-backs happened a lot. And Demir Boyd Wallace, another SFA player incoming. A little short, but very good ball hawk abilities. Very speedy, very good player. Marshall. All right, Paul Ford. All right, we're to the M's. Anytime I make it to the M's, I'm like, all right, a second wind. I'm about a little over or about halfway through. So let's cook. As we got Pat Pepperoni. He committed to Marshall. Remember, when I import players, it's like an offensive lineman or something like that. I just go to the position that needs the most help. Memphis time. You guys ever wonder about the alternate universe of if Dogwater never left Memphis and how good they'd be? You would have won a national championship before me. So we got Kentrell Byrne here. 99 agility guy. Very, very elusive. Just imagine a Josh Gamara on Memphis with like Mike Wishbone. Kizzy Crosby, another SFA player here. 89. Decent corner or safety. Will start. All right, Miami, Anthony. This team's getting a bit better here. All right, Coach Maruka's new team is Dudley Steele, transfer from Penn State, coming on over. They got Pierre Stone, who just never seems to want to be the head man, as he lost like all of his progression. I think it was a 79. All right, here we go. Michigan. Team that probably got the biggest boost with Coach Mango. New running back, Jaquez Shady, SFA player. This is what he looks like. Cheeto down to an 81. No. Renner Hornbeak coming over from TCU. And then Steele from Washington here, 83 overall. And then you got Cassius Strayer, the Steele from Buffalo. And then where's the Steele? Here he is, Dylan Hart, the 99 speed guy. The Steele from Ohio State. All right, Michigan State here. We've got Marcus Phillips. See if Michigan State can put it together. They've done nothing since McNasty left. Be nice. I liked when Michigan State was good. Thaddeus Thigpen, and new SFA tight end. One of the more interesting battles from last season. Chuck Llama's still here. MTSU. Completely abandoned by Chelsea. Poor Damaris Chapman, man. He's stuck over here. They have a decent receiving core. Minnesota. Got Coach Rick's team. Very good transfer portals. They got Jackson Arroyo, one of the top quarterbacks from Nebraska. Oh, I gotta go through the players. Calvin Warren, new running back. This is kind of a weakness for him, though. Dusty Dukes, the number 1 player in the country, transfer from East Carolina. Quay Camaro, transfer from Southern Miss. Freddie Funyuns up to an 88. Eric Lombardi is a reject, 72 overall. Mississippi State, probably the worst team in the country, at least in the Power 5. Kansas State might be worse on paper, though. Wait a second, where is the, here he is, Arthur Robinson, SFA player. Committed here, the in-game recruit. A little pre-roster picnic for Zach to see Nebraska's new threads. Exactly the way you want to write it up. Yeah, if you're at the end of the alphabet, you know you're going to be late in the stream. And remember, right after this stream is going to be the schedule reveal. I'm going to go through every single schedule for you guys, and then I'll post the grids like normal afterwards. And preseason plans will open up and all that good stuff. All right, here we go. Missouri, Coach Tribe. Oh yeah, this is it's gonna be an awesome week 1 for sure. All right, so they finally found a quarterback, if it's only for 1 year. We got P.J. Morton. He was injured for the vast majority of last season over at Illinois. Transfers in. Brian Marshall will be the guy, as poor Cyrus Disco completely fell off here. Wide receivers: Rich Kane, Sandro Londano. Lester Owens. Caden Sanker did not go up. Yaz Sussy. Tyler Smoot, transfer from Utah, taking over the middle. And cornerback, you've got Julian Bryant, and then here he is, the 6'5" boy. It is Cabo Banfield, 78 overall. This is what he looks like. He is a beast. And then Cherry Birch, the reject, is now your slot guy. Yeah, there were some, in Season 14, it was the year of the athletic freak. There was, in IGR, some athletic demons, in the actual class, some athletic demons. So, a lot of great players coming through in this next era. Yes, thanks, Flame. It is, very good. So we got another SFA player here. This is a guy who committed as a tight end over to ECU. He was a receiving tight end. I decided to put him as a wide receiver here. Otherwise, he would have never played at NC State. So that's what he is going to be. You can see he would have been tight end number 4. So always want to give our SFA players a chance to shine wherever they wind up. And it could always be worse. You could be a UTSA Roadrunner. NC State looks pretty decent this year. They could do some damage. Now remember, the ACC probably going to be the best conference yet again. So, you know, we'll have to see, but when your top 3 best players are all quarterbacks, you know you're doing pretty well. All right, so now we got Navy. All right, so Coach Coco, it is Daryl Moses. You've got Corey Kelly, and then this season's bust, we got Dirt Doink. This is what he's looking like. Not entirely bad. You can definitely work with this. It's just going to take some time to grow him. Rex Osland is back. Thank you, Flame. Bernice Cesaro is way up there. Transfer portal guy, Ray Beard. And here we go. Nebraska. Coach Zach, you got Julius Swain, you've got Brian Leaf here. This is his starting stats. Aaron Green Davis up to a 92. Washiko Johnston up to an 86. Definitely a new era here for Nebraska. Pat Malahalo. And Regis Willingham III, an SFA IGR that committed to Nebraska on their own. This is what he looks like. And Dennis O'Hearn, he committed to App State and followed Nebraska. This is what he looks like. King Mayorga up to an 80. Doug Duthie, 78. Jerome Everclear, the former 5-star. Quentin Appleby up to a 92. Chase Boggs. Davian Tart, an 81. Transfer from ODU. Tubby Page, the freshman. This is what he looks like at the start. And there is your Cornhuskers. All right, we got Nevada now. Famous last words there, Zach. But with the 12-team playoff, I mean, it's pretty easy to... I don't want to say it's easy to make the playoff, but with that kind of a roster, as long as you're, 9-3 or better, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. But who knows? Because, the schedules are done, and I tested them all, but I haven't looked at any of them. I only know about, obviously I know the packs, but I didn't really look at the packs too in depth. I wanted to, after having this stream, have a stream that I'm actually, keyed in on, and there's new stuff. Because if I knew every game, it would be just adding another, hour and a half of awfulness to my day. So I want to be just as surprised as you are, so it will be, my reaction as well. I know kind of the big things, but for the most part, I'm in the dark along with you guys on the schedule. All right, New Mexico. Marquise Brown up to an 87. See if he can stay healthy. Well, I know what the New Heights Classic is. I know what all the Week 1 big mega matchups are, right? But here's Manfred Touchstone, a left tackle. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's impossible to predict the big matchups late in the season. I can guarantee you UTSA is not in the New Heights Classic. You can mark that one down. You got to have a narrative to be in the New Heights Classic. Jordy Schmerda up to an 80. All right, speaking of big-time teams, North Carolina, the Portal Kings, if you will. Josh Garrett up to a 91. Brock Thunderbird up to a 91. J.R. Mullins, the grab from Florida, up to an 86. I would absolutely love it if UNC won the Natty this year. People would be so mad for a transfer portal only team to win it all. But it's a legit strategy. Muffy Breastfeeder, the guy from Illinois transferring over, one of the top transfers. Jake Ramsey transfer from Florida. Javon Ohio, the transfer from North Texas. Like, he is ready and he is cooking. This team is so good. Chris Broussard, the transfer. But remember, these guys, they're all upperclassmen. He'd have to do it again. So is this the dream year where the stars align for this team? They made the playoff last year, but Yukachu up to an 80. Sid Nash, one of the original members of the Legion of Dread, his last year. Only 2 active members left. And there is UNC. Now a team that did not have a good off season, if I'm being honest. It wasn't terrible, but you know, not a terrible one. As Oscar Branch is now their quarterback down here in Denton. Taquan Twiggs up to an 83. I think it's just like their off season, it was fine, but in comparison to everybody else in their division, it was like oof. As we got Gibby Gerbacks, the new freshman receiver here. But I will say they've got a monster. George Gritty the fifth. This man is a beast. A 92 speed tight end. He is a fiend ready to receive. GGV is going to be a beast. Don Dapton, 74. Dirt McFarland. These are all some great progression from Desi Mazood his sophomore year up to an 84. And Jamie Vonderlo, probably the grab of the season for Coach D Sleep here. Shea Dickerson as well, so very good linebacker core for this season. And that will do it. Northern Illinois. Carlos Walker. I feel like a committed NIU user would be so much fun. Watching, I don't know. It was when we were little, when Northern Illinois was good in real life, and then in the games that they were like dominant as well. But in the modern games, they're just completely bad. I forget who the quarterback was that played for Northern Illinois. If anyone can shout them out. But like, I always remembered when I was little, NIU was dominant in the MAC when I was little. Jordan Lynch, that's right. He was a beast. That dude slung his nuts all over the field. Watching Jordan Lynch play was probably one of the times where I was like, holy crap, college football is awesome. All right, Northwestern, new user. He's been very active, not like talking in the server or anything, but very active with his team, which you love to see. So let's see if he can get a good start. We got Luke Fulton, new quarterback. Kevin Story had a great year last year. He was a touchdown machine. Good receivers. Yeah, I'd really like to see somebody take Arkansas. I was actually considering moving to Arkansas. I was like strongly considering leaving ECU after or before season 14, and I was strongly considering Arkansas, but Boogie Shamar up to an 83. But I had to see it through, and I'm glad I did. All right, Notre Dame. For the first time ever, Notre Dame was offered to a coach this season, and they did not take it. I offered Notre Dame to think, and he said no. So they remain locked. But Warren Stevens is their guy, new running back era. Dan Jolly is here. They kind of got screwed in the transfer portal with their wide receivers, but that's all right. They'll be fine. This is a team that just always finds a way to be okay. Yeah, I was shocked too. I was like, all right, if there's any time to ever unlock Notre Dame, it's now, because Fink really wanted Virginia Tech or Wake Forest. So I was like, well, why don't I give the longest tenured coach a chance at Notre Dame in a down year? But he wanted Utah instead, which I don't blame him. Utah is just as good and actually probably better in terms of SFA lore and players. Hold on, I gotta make sure I get these players in here. But yeah, for the first time ever, I offered somebody Notre Dame, and he said no. I mean, Fink, he's finally in a spot where he wants to win. Speaking of people who want to win, it is time for Coach Black in Ohio to explode. I am all about this team this year. I am all about Ohio. You got Nolan Figgs finally progressing, finally something good happening for an Ohio quarterback. And then, boom, they get James Callahan, a beast from Baylor, up to a 91. Ohio is cooking this year. They got Terry Tompkins, the fullback from Ohio State. Please, please let Ohio cook this year. Please. It's not Bradshaw. I understand that. No, Ohio will do what I want them to do. They won't be a disappointment yet again, hopefully. Ulysses Hasselman, SFA player, freshman. He's a very good run stopper. Tyson Coffey is back. Robbie Carmichael is back. He has 3 very good linebackers. Got Joe Ewing in the portal. Still have Derwin Fields-Crook. Like, come on, this should be a good team. This should definitely be worthy of winning the MAC. All right, will Ohio State be good? Will Ohio State be good this year? Yes. Vincent Hoffman, he took a massive leap forward. This is the guy you want. Yeah, they lost Lance Malone, but he was more of like a pocket passer. This guy runs that Ohio State offense to perfection that won him a national championship. Terrell Flowens is back. There you go. Yeah, using your 1,000-point highlights. People always use those. Yeah, it's just like one of the base ones that they offer. There you go. Fuck Ohio State. Oh, there's Dogwater. While you're waiting in this boring chat, use all the new emojis. There's a lot of new ones. Just so people can see them. I updated the logos and stuff. Forgot to say that. And then we got, obviously, on the screen that you guys see, top left, we got new UI. The new watermark along with the bottom right as well. There you go. I knew you would find that one, Dogwater. All right, Oklahoma State. Are they going to be a threat in the division? Stequavius Gates up to a 94. Huey Creed got him in the portal. I'm excited to see what Ohio State does. Tyreek Asher is back. And then what was that one? On Your Dome. Yeah, I added the On Your Dome one. Season 15, obviously. The oof one isn't new. Yeah, the main ones is the, oh yeah, and also the yam. I forgot I added the yam. I think that one's hilarious. So yeah, the Ragoon one, the yam, and the On Your Dome are really the big updates. And then obviously beating up the notebook. I gotta figure out what to beat up the notebook over now because, like, yeah, alright. So now we got ODU. So they no longer have a team to support. Alright, ODU. Gandy. Alright, we're catching a third wind here. We're in the O's. I can't just speed through it because you gotta be able to see it, right? So it's like... Oh yeah, my yeah, I gotta cook up my preseason episode for Patreon. That's a good reminder. I gotta figure that out. I should be able tonight. I'm gonna, after all the schedules and stuff, I'm gonna put together the preseason top 25, and I may record the preseason episode. We will have to see. And we got Ole Miss. No longer have Coach Nathan. Yeah, I'm not coaching, so there's really nothing to rage over. But I'm sure when we go to the new game and we do our head-to-head seasons, I'm going to be raging all the time as we have Dakota Finkel. New guy here at right tackle, or right guard. I will be... Wait, I talk all this shit, but once Dogwater starts beating me, I'll be pissed. I hate losing head-to-head in football games. Because I always lose to the dumbest stuff. Dexter Johnson up to an 83. Oregon. Here's a team I'm excited for. Coach Dave. Sal Easton, the senior, your last chance, my guy. What is he going to do this year? You got Adam Williams. Jace Fiker, SFA player. This is what he looks like coming in. Oh, I always play realism. I never spam stuff. Nala Saka, another SFA player coming in. Very good run stopper, 95 block shedding there. Cecil Spears, one of those SFA in-game recruits. What he looks like. Tyree Strider, this is what he looks like. And Oregon State, here we go. All right, Oregon State with the new quarterback, Lance Malone, the man, the myth, the legend, who screwed Ohio State the second they lost the bowl game and left for Oregon State. He did not go up, but he will be their starter. Remember, preseason strategies will go live tonight. So if you want to try your luck at tampering a starter from somewhere, you definitely can, but you do risk losing all of your visits, all of your TP scholarships, or getting a bowl ban for season 15. Very excited to see who gets a penalty for the first time ever in because last season the debut tamper, only good things happened for people, so we gotta see if any bad stuff happens. And that's what I like about the about where we're headed with the SFA. There's a lot of great fun and a lot of crushing defeats, and obviously some people don't like that, but it's kind of like IRL football, or IRL college football at least. It's all about how do you adapt. That's the goal. As we got Penn State now, Antonio Lewis. AJ Mason, transfer Fresno, is the backup. That's trash. I wanted him to go somewhere good, but Boogie Toes going from Illinois over to Penn State. There were some great moments, though, at Arizona. I can't think of any, but there were some great moments. At least for me as a fan. Tyrone Saturn up to an 86. All right, we got Pittsburgh now. Jaws Patterson as a senior. You got Cookie Fetz behind him. John Cunningham as well. Very, very good quarterback class here. Maybe there's some transfer portal, options there. But you got Kennard Short, the transfer from Penn State. Keontae Duckett up to an 89 is a sophomore. Massive progression. As well as Robbie Reese, transfer from Alabama. He had that great tip catch in that playoff game. I'm excited for Pitt as well this year. And I particularly love Pitt mainly because Coach Crew, he had to take a punishment and take half the budget, and he still was able to keep this team together and improve it in the transfer portal. And that's all that matters. This team is so good. I want this team to win the ACC. Them or Florida State. All right, we got Perdon't. Cortez Coker. We're in the home stretch, folks. The final hour. Let's go. And then remember, we'll release the full schedules right afterwards. I know it's late for you Easterners, but it's kind of how it has to work. But I'll release the full grids. Everything will be there for you in the morning. So now we got Rice. I missed one. And we got Rutgers. Coach Nathan, you're up. All right. So, quarterback, you got Kenneth Bryant back. He's an 89. And Jamarcus McNutt, 6'8", 258 pounds, a beast. And this way he looks like a true pocket passer. Great accuracy. Decent throw power. Can break a tackle, but just can't really move all that much. He's a bit of a tree stump. Tyrell Skinner, the transfer from Cincinnati. He does have injury problems. Grant Day, transfer from Notre Dame. The star of the helmet drop. His helmet caused Notre Dame's season to go kind of spiral out of control. But 85 accuracy, Dogwater. And remember, it's a freshman quarterback. KJ King back for his senior year. This team will give Cincy some problems. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of that division. SMU. Fedro Bautista, the transfer from BYU, is now the starter for SMU, and Coach Mushbrain. And here's the fantasy football reward player, Jachrist Bass. Now, he's not 92. That's a UI error. He is a 90 overall. I already, like we've tested a million years in a row. It's just a UI glitch. Ratings didn't change. But this is what he looks like. Remember, reward players don't have specific archetypes. They are just very even across the board. 95 speed, great catching, great route running, great catch in traffic, great jumping. Everything is good. Jachrist Bass. So Fedro Bautista, the Batista bomb to Bass is going to go nutty. Absolutely. Now, this is a roster that does need an insane amount of work, but I don't know how you could get a better start, especially after getting fired. This was like kind of the perfect storm because you got the fantasy reward player and they also won Bear Cave. So two great recruits right there. And so this is what it looks like. Giddy Up Man is the Bear Cave reward player. 6'5", 300 pounds from, there's no Ding Dong, Texas in game, but I put dumbass, like dumbass, right? But this is what he's looking like. Once again, always just do a very average kind of a, average kind of a guy. He's more of a power rusher. And then you have LaShawn DeGeeter following you from Wisconsin in terms of the commitment. This is what he looks like. He's much more of a run stuffer. So I cannot wait for like maybe 2 seasons where it's SMU, UTSA, Tulsa, North Texas all going crazy in that division. Is Ari Kasumba is now the top rated corner here. This is what he looks like. Yep, in the old recruiting scouting system is like those A+ ratings are legitimate. I make sure that I tank everything else down so he can have the 95 block shed, so he's dominant in that one spot. All right, so now we got San Diego State. Coach Piggy, a transfer portal winner. Team got so much better overnight. And mainly Ed Bradley coming on over from Arkansas State. He is a beast. Vic Wally, the SFA player, is now finally the leading rusher here. Uncle Boozer up to an 82. He's had a hectic offseason to say the least. Check out the Mount West Tribune for updates on him. Offensive line a little lackluster here. Moses Strong coming in transfer portal. Billy Gilmore coming over from Kansas. Nikias Bush up to a 78. Forgot one. So new user, San Jose State. Signed a couple of coordinators. This is the starting roster. Definitely have a hill to climb, but if you're going to climb a hill, might as well be in the Mountain West. It's the easiest hill to climb. Is that conference's booty cheeks from up to down. Yeah, this is a very sneaky program. Got South Alabama. That people love that I call Sala. We got Brian Cook. Alright, Scar now. Alright, so we got Youngwood Jungkook sighting, but their quarterback class. Donatello Perkins is a senior. Man, how time flies. Dario Scoggins here as well. Seemed like just yesterday Donatello Perkins was going crazy as a freshman for Kansas, and then he got injured. He was the first ever broken promise player. And there he is, Youngwa Jungkook. Maybe he can get Team of the Year this year. Now we got Stanford. Stanford had a terrible year last year. This is such a peculiar team because they just get 1 5-star a year, but it doesn't work. Is Levi Kazaruni, he will be the starting quarterback this year. The 5-star from last year actually regressed. And then they also got Shu Okani, the SFA in-game recruit. This is what he looks like. So a lot of options here for Stanford. Gary Barr, he won the Jet a couple of years ago. Remember, they made the playoff. Had that great game with Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl. Chop Bog Trotter, a top 15 prospect. And here's another one of those A-plus ratings. 98 finesse move as an incoming freshman. He is a monster. I said there's some players in this class I wanted to design them to be like, I wanted to kind of test with this class. Okay, not just overall just really good players. They are elite in one skill, average in others, right? As we got Desmond Stryker, one of the top 10 players in the country, former #1 player in a class a couple of years ago. Then we got Syracuse. Jason Handy is the new quarterback. He's a freshman. They got very lucky there with a decent freshman. Wade Tweedy, SFA player. This is what he looks like. He was a 4-star possession guy. Here's Pip Parrott. Yeah, I've got to go to an ECU game. Dogwater, imagine I bring my trophy and I pay for field access so I can get pictures of my trophy on the turf. They should give me free access onto the field for winning them a national championship, if we're being honest. No, I cannot justify a trip to Greenville, North Carolina. All right, TCU in the fall off here. So their quarterback is going to be a 67 overall. Mango truly left them in shambles. This team made the playoff 2 years in a row. This is not going to be good. Bro, I don't... I mean, we'll see, because I might, like... Well, we'll see. Because I do want to go to a East Carolina game at some point. Imagine if they took my trophy in security, I would be in shambles. Galen Barnes, top player over here now. God, talk about a complete drop-off here. God damn. Poor TCU, man. Just completely left in shambles. Now, here's a team I did not have getting super good on my bingo card. What a season it was for Temple. As they're now bringing in Brent Perkins. Dale Shivers, the Heisman finalist from Buffalo, going to Temple. I think that's so funny. We've got Eric Carpenter. Wide receivers are still trash. This is going to be a run-only team. They're going to run it about 50 times, right behind Frankie Brickshire, the transfer from Michigan. Just halfback dive, or halfback power, right behind the guard. 45 times a game. Exactly, no fatigue. All right, there is Temple. Now we're into the Texases. Let's go. Well, let's finish this strong, folks. Is B-Dog's new team. You got Morris Stewart, Patrick Stewart, the Stewart brothers. Marty Fellows getting probably the steal of the portal, getting a 99 speed running back for like $2. Yeah, Maximus Jagger. Or Maximilian Jagger. Red Rubskins. Top O lineman. Chadwick Tonga. Another guy with elite finesse move. Not really anything else great. Lake Hutchinson. He is up to a 91. We're cooking. We're cooking. Hey. The hype is already back. We got Smokey Haywood over here. I just like looking at when it's user teams. I hate going through like the Bowling Greens and, you know. But I like looking at the user rosters after they're complete. And now A&M, the team that lost to East Carolina, unfortunately will not see Beaver Ball this year. However, it is a new era for Herky Streets. His career national championship stat line is 0 for 1 with an interception. But he's the top-rated quarterback in the country, so we'll see what he can do. They got Tim Morse as well. You've got to hand it to Skook. He's had probably the most fun quarterback lineage of anybody in SFA history. Because remember, he came in in the Eli Stowers era with that one crazy year with the Houston game, and then he lost them all to the transfer portal, and then he had one bad year with like 72. And then he had Rex Beavers come in, who is a legendary guy. So if you're looking for entertainment, come to Texas A&M. Yeah, he definitely threw the natty away. That was the pivotal turning point because it was a 50-50 game until that moment. Jackie Knight is back. He did not declare. Freddie Furman is back. Like, this team is still going to be fucking good. I fully expect them to be back. As they still got Corey Patterson as well. AJ Clark is back as well. You don't have any of the pressure from the McQueen super fans. You got Lachey Phantoms up to an 89. Terrence Boo. And then the number 1 player in the class. Bum-ba-da-dum! Huck Hammer. I've been waiting for this guy to come into the SFA for years. I've always loved this concept of Huck Hammer. He is such a beast. 98 speed. He has insane zone, insane hit power. Just the most, like, think of your favorite safety of all time, like an Ed Reed or like, you know, like a Darren Sharper type of a guy. This guy is a masterpiece. I fucking love Huck Hammer. Cannot wait to see what he does. But he's not one of the 299 speeds. It's Manjube, Moomin, and one other guy, which we'll get to still in a little bit. But now we've got Texas State. So Coach Fee. Thomas Horn comes back for his senior year. And here's the reject. We got Blaze Hollister. This is what his stats are coming in looking like. Yeah, Coach Fee definitely knows what he's doing. He was telling us about his sim matchup days. He is a beast. Yeah, he knows how to. He's not a rookie. He knows how to build teams. This team is gonna get good very quickly. So, it took some time. Obviously, your first year is always a bit rough. But he's definitely going to be a dark horse. And he got my baby, Josiah Bird, up to an 84. I love Josiah Bird, a legend at East Carolina. He's now at a Texas State Bobcat. That is insane. And here's Andres Yaslov, the other player that he got. This is what he's looking like coming in. He's a one-star SFA player. Great pursuit. Yeah, Josiah Bird is a beast. Now we got Texas Tech. And this is another team I would love to see get good. Is they got Garrett Gamara. He's up to a 78 in his new threads over here. I would love to see Texas Tech get good. Kenny Garrison up to a 91. And for any coach who's trying to build up their rosters, yeah, it's great to get guys or whatever, but you gotta build your trenches. The trenches are where you start winning games. It took me 6 years in just being mid in the group of 5 to figure it out, and then I shot up like a rocket. I was like, all I did was I committed to getting one offensive lineman a season, and eventually we were cooking. Alright, now we got Toledo. Toledo sucks. Team that was good at some point back in the Brent Hundley days, but they've just not been able to find anything good since then. Sacked for a first down. What a call. Now we got Troy. Troy. Definitely a dark horse team to be insanely good. As Wandale Hoody, unfortunately, didn't get much better, but he doesn't need to get better. This guy, he was insane his freshman year. You got Hephaestus Ames for one more year as well. Remember, these guys won the Sun Belt, and I believe they won their bowl game. Maybe they didn't win the bowl game. I don't remember. But he absolutely feasted in the transfer portal. got Marlon Hoover back. Xavier James, the SFA Player of the Year, is an 84 overall now. Bianco Strickland, SFA freshman. Good strength, good power move. Alan Patrick, transfer from Stanford. Tulane coach Maddox. Tracy Potes up to an 80. Whoopty Tibbs up to an 84. Incredible freshman years for those two guys. See if the coach Maddox legacy can continue this season, have just as crazy of a year. I don't think there's any way. He did get Andy Bell, though, over from Oklahoma. That was a big steal for them. Get a top corner. And now we got Tulsa. So Coach Elharm, it's Herbert Davenport is still the highest ranked guy on this roster, but he got Finn Fisher, the reject, coming in, quarterback of the future. 84 speed, decent in all areas, nothing crazy. He wears number 66 because F is the sixth letter in the alphabet, so it's Finn Fisher 66. Our leading rusher in the country, Kendall Bradshaw, over 2,000 total yards. A beast mode. We'll see what he can do. Tulsa was a very entertaining team. Always seemed like they're going to overtime last year. And our raffle ticket winner, Bob Backus. He is from Oklahoma, and this is what he's looking like. So he is a very good receiving guy. He's a good blocker as well. He can get it done any way you'd like to do. Yeah, so remember, reward players are going to be good at everything. So equally good at blocking to receiving. So he should be good enough. For your option scheme. Malcolm Burns, your other guy here, is a reject. So Tulsa on the up and up. Now UAB, the senior year for Squinton Winston. Let's hope he can do something. Neuro McLean, the SFA player, coming in. Kamel Farley as well. UCF definitely in that mode of top CPU teams I would take over if I was joining the SFAs. You got Joshua Dubs, that is an 89. Say what you want about Florida Man, but he was good at team building, as he has Case on Moist up to an 80. This team could be dangerous in the Sun Belt this year. Rock Captain up to a 77. Fifi Hobson, top guy now. UCLA. One of our new users. Newer users. It's one of the better UCLA rosters we've seen in the last couple of years, though, so I'll forever be linked to UCLA, taken to various trace. Thank you for breaking him so I could build him. I'll allow UCLA fans to claim a natty for those that stuck by Trace's side. All right, we're into the nitty-gritty here, ULM. A junior 65 overall. That's just not going to cut it. Peterson's pretty good. See if we can keep this under the 3-hour mark. Remember, we'll be back here in a little bit for the schedule release. Right after this stream, I'm going to take about a 5-minute, be more than 5 minutes. I'm going to eat dinner, and then we'll be right back for the schedule release stream. And I know it's late for your Easterners. If you want to go to bed, the full grids will be available tomorrow. They'll be posted tonight. Preseason recruiting plans will be available tonight, and then immediately when this stream ends as well, you guys can start submitting your depth chart changes. So USC, are they going to be good? Terrence House is a top-rated quarterback now. Got Brandon Sanders. USC always seems to be Bobson Dugnut up to an 81. They always seem to be super high-rated and then just never win games. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, so it's only 7:51 here, so it's not too bad. But this is a beastly roster for USC, so Doomsday is gonna have a good roster here. Middle linebacker's like the only place where they're meh. Sharif Simpkins, SFA player, up to 84. Dylon Sarnecki up to a 96. And Dylan Grimmer, the in-game recruit. Can't throw the ball, but he has a good power, good kicker. And Thumper Jones, he won the award last year. Cannot wait to reject every single one of them, Jay Jettas. All right, USF. So we got AP coming back. East Carolina transfer Charles Jones. If you're putting Fenster to middle linebacker, I'm going to kill you. That man is... You've got a sick case of dog water brain if you're going to do that. That doesn't work. You want another... you want another Taylor McQueen? No. All right, now we got UTEP. Team that fired Moroku even though he had a quarterback coming in just so they could start freshman Andy Taylor. Oh, this team. UTEP is gross. That's just not going to work. We're in the home stretch, folks. We got this. And finally, be funny if Dogwater isn't here for UTSA. Are you here, Dogwater? Ken Brown, he's a 90 overall. Miles Tilley, the massive arms, ridiculousness. This is what he looks like. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, here's Shiloh. Wait a second. Hold up. Mercury Morris. Sorry, I gotta go through him. Mercury Morris, he is a reject. There's 7 of them. I forgot how many SFA players he has on this team. So, Shiloh Slutters, the 78 overall. He is a great, decent player. You know, whatever. Rylan Warrenberg, he is a deep threat. And then the other reject, Bakari Django, is another deep threat. A lot of wide receivers on this team. What in the world? Graham Concoro, the 4-star. He's going to be good. The star of this defense for sure. Wendell Vanderbrake, not an 81, he's an 80. It's UI glitch, but he is the gem of the class, meaning he was a 3-star, but he's actually an 80 overall. That's the way he looks like. Very good at pretty much everything. That's going to do it. Now we got Utah State. All right, so the other 99 overall in the class is Paulie Pugh, the receiving back. He is 99 speed. He is a monster, and he can catch a good ball. 82 catching. So the two highest speed player, or the three highest speed players in the class is Manju Moomin, Paulie Pugh, and Huck Hammer. We are almost there. Couple more teams. Vanderbilt's Coach Neggs. All right, the new man, the myth, the legend, Craig Jeffries II. The reject is going to be the starter in the SEC. We'll see what he can do. This is how he looks. He is a scrambler. Timothy Stevenson, the 71 overall reject. This is what he looks like. I would love to see Vanderbilt somehow make a bowl game with these guys. Kenneth Bell, Lenny Fowler, those were guys who got in the transfer portal. So 2 tight end set, running the ball, throwing to these tight ends could really work well. Clint Jackson, transfer from Hawaii. Now Virginia. As we are over the 3-hour mark. We got Reynold Brooks. This is the team that fired DiGiorno. Now we got VT. Jonell Rivers is now the lead guy. We're almost to the end. It wasn't as bad this year. I went through a little bit of a lag there in the middle, but I think we're doing all right this year. I don't want to jump off a cliff right now. Ozzie Merkins in his senior year up to a 93. Schmush as well. So we got Wake Forest now. We've got Chauncey Chase up to an 81. Will Wake be good in the AAC now? Doubtful. Look at all these 59 overall receivers. My God. What is going on? I feel like you have to intentionally recruit this poorly. Naquan Porch up to a 91, and then nobody else over a 70. Just oof. Washington, let's go. Back to a good team. Washington is in for an interesting season as they got Tehun Akamoto. He's a 76, showing a 75 right now, but he has 4 different quarterbacks at around that range. Talk about a quarterback controversy, but he's got the 5'7" monster, and look at him. He is 96 speed, 95 excel, 95 agility, and 95 elusiveness, and the throw power and the throw accuracy and accuracy. This guy is a crazy man. We'll see how he plays. Terrence Tatum is the running back. Darrell Bay now the top player in this team. Hopefully Akamoto can get it to him. We'll see how repair Korean-Japanese relationships. And another 5-star player, Bangston Graves, the 6'5", 300-pounder. This is what he looks like coming in. He is another beast as well. Go Lanes. He is up to a... This is what he looks like coming in. Manny Yams, once again getting buried on a depth chart. Possible transfer portal type of a guy next year. Now we got Washington State. Another spot that's always been a good place for users to go that have never really been. We've never had a serious coach at Washington State. I feel like it'd be a pretty easy rebuild. They get decent players. And like once you take over that region, the Pacific Northwest from Washington, then you're in the clear. Just struggling to get there is the fun of it. And what will be one of the more interesting experiences of the year is going to be West Virginia. Barrett Rogers, Tamir Lovelace, and Chad Hunter all coming in from the transfer portal. Who is going to play? Nobody knows. PJ Hoop, the sophomore running back, he's getting better. Like to see that. Tremaine Silva going up. Like to see that. I'd like to see a good West Virginia as well. They've had their opportunities. And Deontay Smoke on the defensive line is beastly. You've got Mojo Baez on the other side, and then you got Archibald Burnbridge in the middle. Like, come on, dude. This defensive line is so good. This team's making a bowl game. I'm saying that this year. This team is making a bowl game. The missing piece was Eddie Lacy at coordinator. And now we got Western Kentucky. Finally. All right, Western Kentucky. So we've got Maximus Mays III as the starter. The redshirt fiend Leon Fox is now the backup. And, ooh, surprisingly, Brent Charles is better. So Jackson Viss might lose a starting job. I don't know. Laz Palmer, number 1 guy. Benny Keuchel up to an 86. Edward Schroff, 1-star SFA player. This is what he looks like. Percival Peely came in, and Tobin Dashnaw as well. This is what he looks like. Drake Rutherford, the only reject that was a 75 overall this year. This is what he's looking like. Lousy Riddle, this is what he looks like. One of the funnier names I think I've ever created. Lousy Riddle. And there we have it. 2 more teams. Coach Mills, his team, you've got Joe Jones and then Keon Parks. He's the man who's coming on up. He probably has the coolest drip out of anybody right now. The key for Western Michigan is just to win a couple of games to get that budget up for Mills. Because Mills is a sleeping giant of a coach when he gets a budget. You just got to watch out. Nobody wants to face Mills ball, as Andrew G is up to a 79. He's only a recruit from last season. All right, one last team at Coach Wind. Thanks for waiting so long. It's just how it goes. The last team. Chris Neal did not go up at all. And now Jamie Brown is your head guy. Definitely a new era here for Wyoming football. Terrible end to the year last year. They were 7-1 and finished 7-5. Unbelievable, missing out on their division. That's one of the funnier collapses, because it started with that San Jose State loss on a Bear Cave on the final play. Pud Foxtail up to a 79. And the final player of the class that we're showcasing, Clash Sparkman. He's 5'9", he has insane excel. Just a decent linebacker, but he's 5'9". my God, we're so close. I can feel it. We did it, folks. And just while we're here, I'm going to sort some stuff. So here's the overalls, right? Here's the top speed guys. All SFA players besides Roach, Dylan Hart, Dale Campbell. Let's see. What else do I want? I'll just show some of the throwing stats, I guess. So top throw power, Fedro Bautista, obviously. He's a beast. Top throw accuracy, there's a lot of them. Ed Bradley, one of the highest throw accuracies. Hit power, we've got a lot of 99 hitters. Oh, they're mostly SFA players. I used to put everybody's hit power at 99. So Cheddar Biscuits, if he hits somebody, he's going to be a beast. Alright, so that is going to do it, folks. Number 2 for Oklahoma, that's not correct. I still have to go through and create the preseason rankings, of course. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to eat dinner, and we'll be back with the schedule release probably about 10-15 minutes. So thanks for watching. This will be available later tonight.